I'm Donnie Barnes. We'll look at the weather conditions in Aruba today. It is a breezy evening here on the island as these two get set for this Concacaf qualifier. It was a very warm day. You see the wind gusting at 35 kilometers per hour. There's a threat of rain. We'll see if that comes to pass, but right now, clear skies and good playing conditions here in Oranjestad. Let's see the standings early on in Group C of this second round of CONCACAF qualifying. Curaçao got off to an ideal start with a 4-1 win over Barbados on Wednesday. As mentioned, this is Aruba's first game here in the group. You see St. Lucia and Barbados springing up the bottom there. Haiti got off to a winning start as well. Remember, the top 2 out of 5 in each of these groups will progress to that final round of qualifying, which will take place late in 2025. Well, Curaçao have risen very impressively over the past half-decade. They qualified, of course, for the 2017 and 2019 Gold Cups, and they won the 2017 Caribbean Cup as well. They think they can make some real noise in this qualifying campaign, and they got off to that great start on Wednesday, as we mentioned. Now, Aruba failed to progress in the last World Cup qualifiers 4 years ago. They finished 4th in the first round for those 2022 qualifiers. They began 2018 World Cup qualification against Barbados, and they did progress through there eventually before falling to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But they did make good progress in the Nations League last year. Aruba had a very positive 2023. They won all 4 of their games in League C in the CONCACAF Nations League. They scored 14 goals and only conceded 4, and they were promoted back to League B for this fall's Nations League. So they hope to use that positive 2023 as a springboard for an improved showing in this qualifying cycle as well. And as you can see, there's big excitement here in the ground in Aruba today. A sellout crowd at the National Stadium, and they are ready to support their nation against Curaçao. Other games in progress and that have already completed from around CONCACAF World Cup qualifying earlier today. Trinidad and Tobago bounced back from their disappointing draw in their opener at home to Grenada, and they crushed Bahamas 7-1 on the road. So a good bounce back indeed for Trinidad, who now go to 4 points in their group. Also, Suriname defeated Anguilla on the road 4-0. Suriname had to work for that. It was just 1-0 through an hour there, but they scored 3 late goals to put Anguilla away. And they improved to 6 points from 6 in Group F. Meanwhile, Guatemala also won their second qualifying game. They are 2-0, 6 points out of 6. They defeated the British Virgin Islands by 3-0 earlier today. Cayman Islands and Antigua and Barbuda, they were rained out, so they were not able to play. That means Cayman Islands still haven't gotten their campaign underway. Antigua and Barbuda still on 1 point from their opening draw earlier this week. Getting started at about the same time as this game will be Belize and Nicaragua. So lots of CONCACAF qualifying action going on around the region here today. Remember, the first half of this group being played here in this June FIFA window. The second half, everybody will be playing their 3rd and 4th games of this group phase next June in 2025. And then, as mentioned, the top 2 finishers out of each 5-team group will advance to be among those final 12 teams in CONCACAF qualifying in September, October, and November of 2025, vying for at least 3 additional automatic qualifying spots that CONCACAF will have, and maybe up to an additional 5. See the 2 sides taking to the pitch. We'll introduce our officiating crew and introduce you to both teams' starting 11s momentarily. You can see the wind whipping around. It will be a factor today on balls that are up in the air. Maybe crosses might be tricky for both goalkeepers. So we'll see how that impacts the ball once it's in play. But 2 colorful kits, 2 proud nations, and a great atmosphere here in Oranjestad. We'll listen to the national anthems of both of these nations and then bring you those starting 11s and your kickoff. Aruba and Curaçao on the road to FIFA World Cup 2026. It's next.
Ladies and gentlemen, national anthem of Curaçao.
It is a fired up, sold out crowd here in Oranjestad, ready for Aruba and Curaçao today, as Curaçao will be in their away white and gray kits. Aruba, they're always colorful, yellow and blue. And Aruba kicking off their qualifying campaign here. Obviously, this qualifying group is short, just 4 games played over these 2 international windows in 2024 and 2025. Let's see the starting 11 for Aruba. Their goalkeeper is Matthew Lentic, and they are captained by Fernando Lewis along the back line. Kaimani Ned and Terence Gruthausen are amongst the attackers for Aruba today. Here are 4 officials to work this match, led by Cesar Ramos, our center referee from Mexico, assisted by Alberto Marin, Marco Bisguera, and Amarani Garcia. It is an all-Mexico officiating crew here today, as they welcome the 2 captains to the center circle. Eloy Room, who will be earning his 50th cap for Curaçao today. In goal, as usual, a hugely accomplished goalkeeper who played many years in Major League Soccer, won an MLS Cup with the Columbus Crew. And Fernando Lewis, the captain of Aruba, as they get ready for the coin toss. It appears that Aruba have won, so they will decide which way they want to attack in the first half. Meanwhile, the starting 11 for Curaçao in their second qualifying game. We mentioned Eloy Room in goal, a back 4 of Brunet, Floranis, Martina, and Gary, Gore, Margarita, and Yanga up front. Ranjalo Yanga scored a hat trick on Wednesday to spearhead that 4-1 victory against Barbados. Juninho Bacuna will always stand out with his blue hair, but it is Yanga who is the main attacking threat for Curaçao. The all-time leading goal scorer in his nation's history, now with 21 career goals for La Familia Azul. And for Aruba, after a last decade or so that hasn't gone as well as they would have liked, they're hoping that 2023 can be the beginning of a corner turning as they look to build from the grassroots. After those 4 consecutive wins in League C and Nations League play, they're feeling good going into qualifying this year, which, as we talked about, is much more wide open than usual. Cesar Ramos, the officials today wearing the pink tops and the black shorts. It will be Curaçao to get us underway on this breezy evening. Cesar Ramos making sure everything is in order. Curaçao will attack from right to left in this first half. The opening whistle sounds, and we are in motion in Oranjestad. Aruba and Curaçao on the road to FIFA World Cup 2026. Curaçao looking to make a confident start. Took them a while to put Barbados away on Wednesday. They scored in the 25th minute. Took until about the hour mark to add to their lead. Barbados had some good chances to equalize before then. Curaçao won it comfortably in the end. And a different challenge here today on the road against Aruba. It is a very short trip between these 2 islands, about 50 miles. So certainly not the most difficult travel that Curaçao could have had for their first away match in this qualifying campaign. You see how full the stadium is as player goes down for Curaçao. Play continues, a minute in. Sherelle Floranis, Leandro Bacuna, who also has distinctive hair. It's not quite as bright as Juninho Bacuna's. He's gone with the platinum or silver hair. Long out of the back from Aruba, driven forward as they hunt for that second ball. It's out for a Curaçao throw. Here come Curaçao down this left side now. Kenji Gore Looking for a free kick. Cesar Ramos wagged his finger. And Aruba looked to go on the counter. That ball down the line, a little bit too heavy. And played back to Eloy Room. Again, Room's 50th cap for Curaçao today. A nice milestone for him. For a lot of these island nations, it's been historically more difficult to rack up a ton of caps since they haven't had the chance to play a ton of games regularly. That's beginning to change now with the Concacaf Nations League over the last few years, which has been such a positive thing for some of these smaller island programs who are trying to develop themselves, trying to get regular games to be able to do that, to recruit more talent. Curaçao, one of those nations that's come a long way in the last decade plus, qualifying for those 2 gold cups, most notably. They really want to make noise in World Cup qualifying now. They feel this is their best chance to do so in many years. As this is pinged into the box, overhit a bit, and the first take for Matthew Lentic in goal for Aruba. And with the United States and Canada and Mexico all qualifying automatically as host nations this year, and with the expanded World Cup field for 2026, it'll be the largest it's ever been, of course, with 48 teams instead of 32. So it opens up additional qualifying spots in all the regions of the world. And certainly in CONCACAF, 6 automatic qualifying spots this year. Potential to have up to 8 nations qualify. This is out by the corner flag. Aruba were claiming a corner, but it goes Curaçao's way instead. Claiming a foul as well was Terence Groothausen. He was claiming he was stepped on. It'll be a deep throw by his own corner flag for Sherelle Floranis. Hope his team out of some trouble here. It'll be a throw for Aruba. Launch toward the edge of the area, and marauding on the edge of the box. Wouldn't quite sit down, wouldn't fall for Isai Marcelia. It is put out. It will be a corner now for Aruba. And this sellout crowd responds. Positive start for the home side, who are the underdogs in this game. They really want to give this crowd reason to make noise and be into this game from the beginning. If they can do that, it could make life difficult for Curaçao tonight. Marcelia to take. Low outswinger to the near post, headed back out. Well, 5 minutes gone, an even start. This is a throw by the corner flag for Aruba. Stephen Melchor. Two Curaçao defenders able to crowd out and win the ball back. Not able to get out though, but misplayed. It's an opportunity for Aruba to keep the pressure on there, but Karam's out for a Curaçao throw. After this game, Curaçao will have a year to think about the second half of their second round qualifying campaign. And they'll have the Nations League beginning in September. That will be next on their international calendar. Aruba, since this is their first game of qualifying, they'll play at St. Lucia on Tuesday. Here comes Kenji Gore. Looking to create the first opening for Curaçao. Floranis. Physical in the midfield there. Aruba trying to create danger. It was Terence Groothausen who was hunting for that loose ball, hoping he could spring the other way. Aruba pressing enthusiastically in these early minutes. Curaçao will hope that they can pass their way around that and wait for Aruba to tire out. And now Gore with some space down the left. He has the overlap from Floranis. It's Gore still with the right foot, whips it across. And over and out. Positive moment though from Curaçao. In these first 7 minutes, all the attacks for Curaçao going down this left channel. Gore's been in the middle of most of them. Aruba will chase these long balls. They have the pace up front to potentially cause issues from them. Eloy Room playing short. Well, the header was knocked backward and Aruba in trouble, but the next ball wasn't good enough from Curaçao's standpoint, and Aruba able to recover. There's a header under not much pressure, but remember, the wind is gusting tonight. That may have caused the Aruba player to misjudge it, understandably so. You see those two flags behind the goal to the right, gusting in that breeze. As I said before the start of the game, it would make some of those aerial balls tricky. It does appear that it's doing that early in this game. First time Curaçao have tried this right side. Floranis. Gore running at that back line again. Gore darts to the end line, stands up the cross. Taken down by Margarita. Margarita across the face again, scrambled away. Aruba trying to get out of danger. Can't do so cleanly yet. Now it is partially cleared. Gruthausen couldn't make it stick. Aruba have to be careful that they don't get sucked into playing too deep and that Gruthausen doesn't become totally isolated up top. That's how it's starting to take shape. 9 minutes in. Curaçao with the underlap down the right. Stood up from the end line, right in front. Gore was there, but it was volleyed away first. And then an errant header relieves the pressure for Aruba for now. Diedrich Leudens helping with the defending there a moment ago. Early unofficial possession numbers, 82% in Curaçao's favor over these opening 9.5 minutes. It's been a confident start for Curaçao, knocking the ball around and having almost all of the possession. Aruba will hope they can stay compact and tight and take advantage of any Curaçao mistakes. Curaçao did look vulnerable on set pieces at times against Barbados, especially in the first half on Wednesday. Here they go again though, Curaçao. Cutting onto the left, now at the top of the area, Bacuna wide. Juninho Bacuna dragged it onto his left foot, but then dragged his shot just outside that post. It's a good first step to open it up for him. Tried to surprise Matthew Lentic at his near post instead of sliding it toward the far side. Curaçao fans there on that far side, dressed in the blue, encouraged by their team's start. Here's Leandro Bacuna. Gore again seeing a ton of the ball. Second defender coming to help against him, doesn't matter. Gore beats them both, but then couldn't beat the next defender with his cross. Shielded out by Leandro Bacuna. Back in play quickly for Floranis. Leandro. Juninho against the defender, shouts for handball, still alive on the edge of the box. Scooped back in by Margarita and off the top of Gore's head. It stayed in play, and back across it goes. Wide of that far post, and Lentic able to gather. Aruba living on the edge. Doing enough so far to keep it at 0-0. It's a good goal kick from Lentic. Able to stick it to Walter Bennett. Whistle goes for a free kick for Curaçao. Margarita with a good cross. Gore not able to get over the top of it. He didn't realize it had stayed in play. That wing play for Curaçao causing a lot of issues for Aruba. Godfried Romero. Leandro Bacuna. Bacuna past one. Bacuna along the end line. Didn't have the angle to serve in the cross this time. Pulls it back for Gore. Gore able to beat a man. And now Bacuna. And then Juninho scoops it way over. Still problematic for Aruba, though. They're not able to shut down that service from either flank. It's going to become a bigger issue if they can't solve that problem. But they hope, of course, that they can weather this early storm from Curaçao and work their way into the match. A good goal kick from Lentic. His distribution's been pretty good in these early minutes. It's a bit of encouragement for Aruba. If they can win those initial flicks, they have to hope they can get on the end of those second balls. Create danger from those. That direct route, besides set pieces, might be their best way into this game. Curaçao on the attack again, to the edge of the 18. And Juninho Bacuna struck it against a defender. Just hammered long by Aruba. Eloy Room. Wasn't the cleanest take by him, but he had plenty of room. See Leandro Bacuna roving all over the pitch for Curaçao. Margarita. This time was stood up. Aruba have to start winning more of those one-on-one battles down the flank, and they won it that time. They have a chance to maybe do something on the counter. And it will be a free kick for Aruba. A little bit of pushing there with Jurian Gari annoyed by Terence Groothuizen. It is just a throw for Aruba. I couldn't tell if the referee was signaling for a free kick or a throw. Curaçao felt that Groothuizen went down too easily, but ball back in play. Groothuizen shielding it off, having a strike right at Eloy Room, but Groothuizen did really well just to get the shot away in the first place. First shot of the night for Aruba. Now Bacuna. Yanga with his first touch of the night. Helped along by Floranis to Gore. Gore again able to beat his first man. Now put toward that back post and snatched out of the air by Lentic. It's Floranis whipping the cross in. Interesting first 16 and a half minutes. Curaçao, as expected, asking most of the questions going forward. Aruba standing firm, posing some problems with their size and their direct balls the other way. Curaçao throw. Curaçao back to the attack. Margarita almost worked himself into a difficult spot, but Bacuna now. Touched along to Margarita. He goes down. And I believe the referee did give a free kick. It was taken immediately. Margarita again. In low for Yanga. Not sure if he was able to make a slight connection with it. Not enough. And a goal kick for Aruba. The other Concacaf qualifier that's in progress right now, Belize and Nicaragua, are goalless in the 16th minute. Nicaragua won their opener. This is Belize's first qualifying game of this campaign. Curaçao switched the play to the near side. Subsequent header from Gore, though. Straight to an Aruba defender. Lob long to nobody in particular, and Groothuizen wanted a different ball to his feet. Romerito. Cuco Martina, all-time leading appearance maker for Curaçao. This is his 65th cap for La Familia Azul tonight. Looking for the line-splitting pass, Leandro Bacuna. Julian Gari. Margarita. Margarita still goes down outside the box and wins a free kick. Margarita didn't start on Wednesday, came off the bench. Provided enough of a spark that Dick Advocat apparently liked what he saw and put him in the starting 11 tonight. He's been bright down that right side. It's the most dangerous moment of the night so far for Curaçao. Will be Leandro Bacuna to take this. From close range, basically a very short corner. Interesting that they're having a right footer take this. So it would be an outswinger. You see the white shirts lined up at the 6-yard box. Taken low, top of the box, Juninho Bacuna. Poor first touch, and he had to maneuver around the referee, and it's a waste for Curaçao. They'll look to spring the other way on the counter. Have a man streaking down the middle. Didn't have the time and space to try to deliver it to him, though, Jonathan Richard. So that whole frantic sequence turns into not much for either side. There's an interesting construction on the free kick. Curaçao are still frustrated that Cesar Ramos was in the way of Juninho Bacuna, but Bacuna was coming from Ramos's blind side. I'm not sure what the center referee could have done. Curaçao will try again, this time down the left with Gore. Martina and Bacuna. Scooped over the top. Big save. Second ball is out. It'll be a goal kick. First huge save of the night for Matthew Lentic. Terrific scooped ball over the top, and it was the closest that Curaçao come so far tonight. It was Leandro Bacuna. It's a great ball over the top by Leandro Bacuna to a streaking teammate. Matthew Lentic able to come out and make himself big. So Curaçao getting closer perhaps to an opening goal. Haven't found it just yet. About a quarter of the way into this qualifier. Square along the top of the box, rolls all the way through to Floranis. Keeps it moving to Gore. Gore couldn't get past the first man this time, but it will be a corner for Curaçao. See that wind whipping that corner flag. Moving the ball as Gore tries to put it down. Gore taking this corner into the wind. We're at the near post. Wide, who was it off last? Going to be another corner. Gore again, this time pings it in low. That was off a Aruba head again, close to an own goal. Curaçao will have yet another corner, this time from the far side. First couple corners of the night for Curaçao, now they've had 3 in a row. Gore looks like he's lining up to take this. Scoops that outswinger all the way through. Tracked down by Juninho. Juninho Bacuna. Two Aruba defenders now go shoulder to shoulder with him. Sherelle Floranis. Interesting to see Margarita dropping deep there. Now he goes on a run forward. Switched back out to Juninho. Did he keep that in play? No. Well, Aruba under a fair amount of pressure in these opening 25 minutes, but keeping the game at 0-0 for now. Curaçao continue to dominate the ball with 77% of it. Aruba have had less than 25 accurate passes in the first 25 minutes, which is a very low number, but doing all right so far on the scoreline. Ball appeared to be overhit, but it stays in play on this turf. Margarita. His cross goes all the way through to Gore. Gore pulls it back. Floranis. Tried that right side, nobody really there. Reset at the top of the box. On the charge, and it rolls off the foot of Joshua Brennett. Good passing sequence from Curaçao. Margarita flashing it across the face, intended for Yanga. Gore keeping it alive. Floranis. Eventually it fell to Brennett. Couldn't quite wriggle his way through. Free kick for Aruba. One of those games that feels like the first goal will mean everything. If Aruba somehow find a way to grab it against the run of play, it really sets up an intriguing game. If Curaçao score it, I suspect it might be the first of a bunch. Of course, the longer Aruba can hold out, keep this game in the balance, the more they'll like their chances of snatching something tonight in front of this big crowd. those are the little moments they want to create, those little chaos moments. That one didn't really go their way, but besides set pieces, which they've not really had many of in this first half hour, those might be their best chances to create some danger. But here goes Leandro Bacuna. He'll track this down by the end line. And Bacuna into the middle and somehow put wide. Oh, Ranjalo Yanga wide open. And I don't think he realized how much time he had. A hat trick on Wednesday, and he should have had one there. He knows it. I think he was surprised how all alone he was at the near post. You couldn't have had that chance fall to a better guy if you're Curaçao, your all-time leading scorer. Figure he'll get more chances before the night's out. Inside Marcelia. And it wins something by the corner and does win a throw. And Aruba need this. They need a moment where they're not under pressure and not having to defend for their lives. Get themselves up the pitch and catch their breath a bit. They can actually snatch something, of course, even better. Lloydens. Curaçao trying to press up. Saw Aruba come out with a really enthusiastic press in the early minutes. Because the ball's been mostly in their end, they haven't had the chance to press very much. Now they possess. This is raked into the box, and it creates some confusion for Curaçao briefly, but they deal with it from there. Saw Rune call off his line, didn't get to it. Turns out to be just a Curaçao throw. Unofficially 9 shots for Curaçao, but just 1 on target. So a sign of how their finishing has not been on point in this first half hour. They've been credited with 3 big chances, Curaçao. Not taking any of them. Margarita had to skid it low into the box. That was cut out, and then Margarita committed 1 foul and then a second. Like Cesar Ramos was waiting to see if an advantage would develop for Aruba. I think Margarita's a little fortunate with that second kick that he doesn't get booked there. Not had a card in this match, or not had a goal in this match. Eloy Room. Not had much to do. Sometimes that's a challenge as a goalkeeper, of course, when you have long stretches with no action, but veteran guy, he'll know how to handle that. Curaçao trying to split the Aruba defense. Didn't work out. Juninho Bacuna went for a slide. Came out of position. Aruba maybe had a chance to develop something there, but that next ball wasn't accurate enough. These are the moments with Aruba back in their defensive shape. Curaçao have to try to break them down with their individual skill and their ability to move the ball quickly. You need quick passing triangles, or you need somebody like Gore to beat a couple guys one-on-one, which he showed early on he's very capable of doing. He, both Bacunas, Margarita on that right side, they can all take players on. Aruba looking a bit more solid defensively in the last 10 minutes or so. Sherelle Floranis Press being applied, room way out of his area to act as the base of that triangle. Still goalless between Belize and Nicaragua. Started at almost the same second that we did, so they're also about 32 minutes in. This is a corner for Curaçao, their 4th of the opening half. They take it short. Floranis for Gore. Good ball. Gore. Still Gore. Goes for the far post and didn't miss by much. That's how fast Kenji Gore can spring to life. And Matthew Lentic looks like he might have a problem with his right leg. Look at how Gore angles himself back, then wrapped his foot around it. Really good effort. Matthew Lentic grabbing at the back of that right leg. And this could be a problem for Aruba. Never a good sign when a player anywhere on the pitch reaches for the back of the leg. Aruba have 2 substitute goalkeepers on their bench. They have Jamani Eiston and Yostan Maduro. So the magic spray being applied to Lentic. Let's see if that allows him to continue. An intelligent ball from Floranis to Gore. It's the kind of ball that not many players would try in that situation, clipping it over the defenders toward the runner on the end line. And then Gore's cut back to himself. It would have been a spectacular goal if he could have just curled it a little bit more. Looks like Lentic's going to be able to go on, at least for now. Maybe it was just a cramp issue. So 10 minutes to go in this opening half. And Aruba very much hanging in so far. Curaçao trying to make it 6 points from 6. The first half of this qualifying group. Initial chest down was good from Groothuizen. Tussle for that second ball. Curaçao's throw right on the halfway line, from which Floranis only took a few yards in the end. Looked like he was going to try to steal more. Gari down the line. Margaritha making the run. Margaritha gets to it, and Lentic had to paw it around the near post. Margaritha wanted to cut it back more. I don't think that was intended to be a shot on frame. Did force Lentic to do something with it. And it will be the 5th Curaçao corner of this first half. Taken by Gore. Takes it short. Leandro Bacuna. Floranis lines it up with his left. Didn't get a hold of it, and falls for Gore, who also scuffed it. And Lentic able to take his time before picking it up. That is a sky-high kick out from Lentic. Second ball almost fell to Groothuizen and was hoofed away by Jurien Gari just before Groothuizen could swing his left boot at it. It'll be a throw for Aruba. Mentioned early that Matthew Lentic's kickouts and goal kicks looked like a weapon for Aruba, and it almost resulted in a goal for Aruba there as Groothuizen Could have gotten there first. Would have liked his chances of scoring. Still might have a chance here. Darting into the box. Squaring it toward the penalty spot. Big save by Eloy Room. Closest that the home side have come in these first 37.5 minutes. Referee then waves away subsequent penalty claims. And Curaçao look to spring on the counter. They can't do it, and now they have a free kick. Intense sequence. Aruba that close to taking a lead against the run of play. That was the chance they were looking for. It was Walter Bennett then squaring it toward the penalty spot. The initial touch from Jonathan Richard wasn't great. It looked like the chance had gone, but he was able to get back onto it and really whip it with that left foot with a lot of pace. Eloy Room able to get down to his right to push it away. And that's where you need that veteran goalkeeper who hasn't had much to do in the first half to spring into action and keep you level. And that's exactly what Room did for Curaçao. Given away then, and Aruba starting to feel themselves a bit more. Groothuizen pushing it down the line, but Leandro Bacuna races him and gets to it first. Romero down the gut for Juninho Bacuna. I think the advantage was played by the referee. I think Curaçao would have preferred to have the free kick. Here's Gore. And that time, Diedrich Luyden's able to stand him up. Aruba have gotten better at that down the flanks since the first 20 minutes or so. But Curaçao early on were able to get themselves to that end line down either flank pretty easily. Now this falls on the edge of the box and is pulled wide on the half volley. Another Curaçao shot, not on frame. Entertaining first half. Curaçao, as expected, have had most of the ball and the majority of the chances. But Aruba certainly can pose a threat. One of those long kicks. First ball one, second ball one. And then shielded off for Room, who does come out to claim it eventually, but Cuco Martina annoyed at him, feeling that Room took longer than Martina would have liked. Caused an awkward moment. Another example of where Aruba can be a threat, those direct balls. Especially on a windy night like this. Here's Gore cutting inside, using the overlap from Floranis. Juninho. Dropped along, Yanga, second ball, Yanga again, deflected and then hacked away. Half-hearted shouts for handball from Curaçao. Referee indicating it came off the Aruba player's head, not the arm. Curaçao throw in the final 5 of this first half. We apologize for the technical difficulties we've experienced here toward the end of the first half. It is 0-0 at the break between Curaçao and Aruba as we show you the highlights from our opening 45 minutes in Aruba tonight. It's been mostly one-way traffic with Curaçao doing the vast majority of the attacking. They've had about 3/4 of the possession, and Juninho Bacuna, among others, has been very bright for Curaçao, dragging that particular shot just wide. This was the best chance of the opening half. It was a great through ball, lofted over the top, and the late run from Joshua Brennett was perfect. And only the goalkeeper, Matthew Lentic, spreading himself to keep it out, kept this game at 0-0. The second ball rebounding off of Brennett and wide. Leandro Bacuna, the other Bacuna, was also very bright and should have set up the opening goal there. It wasn't his fault that Rangelo Yanga, I think, didn't quite realize how wide open he was. And the guy who scored a hat trick on Wednesday probably feel he should have opened the scoring there. This was a great moment from Kenji Gore. Look at him cut it back by himself and almost curl it into that upper 90 in the top right corner. Really good attacking move, and he was not far away from opening the scoring there. But Aruba keeping this game very interesting because they definitely pose a threat on the counter, and this was their best chance of the first half. A stinging shot from Jonathan Richard. His first touch wasn't great, but he's able to get back on it and really whipped it with pace. And it was a good save by Eloy Room to get down to his right and beat it aside. So, scoreless at the break between these two. Second game for Curaçao, first game for Aruba in qualifying as we see our first half stats. Mostly lopsided in Curaçao's favor, although look at those shots on target. Aruba with just 2 total shots to Curaçao's 15, and yet Aruba had more shots on target than Curaçao did. That shows you how disappointed Curaçao will be with their finishing as they mull things over at the break. They had 75% of the possession as well, 5 corners to just 1 for Aruba. So Curaçao will certainly feel this game is there for them if they can improve their finishing and their cutting edge in the final third. Aruba will feel there's something there for them, having gotten to halftime at 0-0 and having created a couple decent chances when they were able to move their way forward down the pitch, especially from those long balls, those direct balls, winning those second flick-ons. So it's intriguingly poised at the half. We hope to have the signal back. We hope to be able to bring you the second half of this exciting qualifier. Aruba and Curaçao, more in just a bit. Players coming back out onto the pitch for the second half here in Aruba at the Guillermo Prospero Trinidad Stadium in Oranjestad. As Aruba and Curaçao 0-0 at the break. Really interesting first half. We appreciate you sticking with us through some technical difficulties over the last few minutes of that opening half, but Curaçao and Aruba got to the break goalless despite 15 shots for Curaçao in those first 45 minutes. They had 75% of the possession. But again, as we highlighted at halftime, just one shot on target for Curaçao out of those 15. Aruba did pose a threat occasionally and showed that they're capable of scoring, making life difficult for Curaçao if Curaçao continue to miss chances. Aruba more shots on target somehow than Curaçao at 2-1, despite being outshot 15-2. So in this second half, Curaçao wearing the white with the gray. They will kick from left to right. Aruba in the yellow and blue will be attacking right to left in front of this sold-out crowd. They have supported Aruba very well, and a healthy contingent of traveling Curaçao fans have made the 50-mile or so trip also. Our center referee continues to be Cesar Ramos, as he checks his watch and makes sure we're all set for the second half. Fourth official, Amairani Garcia, doing the same. Will it be Curaçao taking all 6 points from their first two qualifiers, or can Aruba spring a surprise in this second half? We're back underway in Oranjestad as Aruba kick things off in half number 2. Matthew Lentic, who only had the one save to make, but it was a difficult and big one, as he stopped Joshua Brennett, who was clean through on an aerial ball. One change at the half as Aruba took off Godfried Romerito and brought on Ravian Rosario. They go on the attack here down this left side. It's Kenji Gore, who was very dangerous in the first half. Gore pulls it back. Bakuna blasts it over the bar. So, positive start to the second half for Curaçao, as it was in the first. But again, the finishing, not accurate. Matthew Lentic, who's been taking his time from these restarts, doing so again on the first goal kick of the second half. And these goal kicks were a threat for Aruba in the first half. They're again able to win the flick on. Tussle for that next ball. Groothuizen knocked it off a Curaçao defender. They're able to take it down now. Richard, not quite able to get back on the end of that. Juninho Bakuna can ping it wide, but missed Kenji Gore. And an Aruba throw. There's Richard, who had that shot on target late in the first half that forced that good save from Eloy Room. In Aruba's most threatening moment so far. Diedrich Leudens to take this throw. This is a free kick for Curaçao. Didn't have any cards shown in the first half. That remains the case here. The other qualifier being played right now in CONCACAF, Nicaragua and Belize. It's Nicaragua leading by a 0 on the road in Belize, as this through ball forces the man out wide, but it's tracked down by Kaimani Ned. Ned into the area, Ned across. Too much height underneath it, but it stays in play for Stephen Melchior. Pulls it back for Richard. Aruba haven't had many of these extended sequences in the attacking third. Richard by the end line now. And his return ball, not as good as you would have hoped. It is a Aruba throw. And now a chance for Curaçao to sprint forward on the counter, but not a good touch from Gore. Took himself right out of the play. Aruba with a bit more possession now, early in this second half. This packed out crowd just ready, itching to explode. Their side could give them a reason to. Well, that's a bad foul. Free kick for Curaçao. It's been a very calmly refereed game by Cesar Ramos. Kept things moving as much as he can. Able to diffuse a couple of tense situations. Kept the game flowing well. Jurian Gari. Gerald Margarita. Brennett trying to thread the needle at the top of that area. Bad touch by Aruba, puts them under pressure again. Margarita by the end line. Serves it across, and stretching was Lentic to claim. And I think that ball held up in this crosswind. I don't think the wind helped Curaçao there. On a night like this, you have to whip balls in hard and low. Otherwise, crosswind's going to play havoc with it. Groothuizen trying to touch it into the path of his teammate. Ball back was a little bit short for Eloy Room. He had to come out and boot it away from Kaimani Ned, who was putting him under pressure. So 5.5 minutes into the second half. This game still very nicely poised. Throw was a pretty good one, and it's knocked into a dangerous spot, and Room again has to contend with that wind as he comes tumbling out of his goal. Seeing Eloy Room called into action a bit more as this game goes on for Curaçao. Sense Aruba's confidence rising the longer this game stays 0-0. Margarita. Aruba have won a lot more of those one-on-one battles defensively. Since about the 20 to 25 minute mark of the first half, Curaçao were slicing down their flanks far too easily early on. Have it down the left side here. Nice ball for Floranis. Runs all the way to the penalty spot and then is hacked away from there. Just wouldn't fall to a player in white. Gore advances again. Gore trying to post up Yanga. The ball knocked backward, and Groothuizen might run onto this. He goes tumbling. Nothing in it for the referee. It looked like Groothuizen tripped himself up, and to be fair to him, I don't think he was appealing for anything either. Ravian Rosario. Now Gore. Gore dances his way in. Still Gore dispossessed. Around 3 yellow shirts. Leandro Bacuna makes sure there's no counterattack for Aruba. Earlier tonight, Guatemala defeated the British Virgin Islands on the road. Guatemala, a perfect 2 wins out of 2. They started their qualifying campaign. They're looking good to reach the next round out of Group E so far. Suriname, a 4-0 win over Anguilla. Anguilla were able to hang around admirably for a long time in that game, but Suriname pulled away over the last half hour. Suriname also 2 wins out of 2. Begin their campaign in Group F. Trinidad and Tobago, a bounce-back 7-1 win over the Bahamas on the road tonight. This is one back by Aruba. What can they create here? Kaimani Ned, forced wide by that ball, keeps it in play, touched it around a defender, goes down. And what do we have here? It is a free kick, I believe, for Aruba. It was such a calm indication from Cesar Ramos. I wasn't sure at first whether he was actually giving the free kick, but it does appear that Aruba will have an attacking set piece. And they didn't have many of these in the first half. I said early on that this is where you feel Aruba pose a real threat. And this is where Curaçao looked vulnerable in their first qualifier last Wednesday against Bermuda. Bermuda with some better finishing could have scored a few from set pieces. Curaçao tended to lose players in the 6-yard box. This is whipped in toward goal. Again, the wind, you can see, really affecting that ball. Well, it comes to nothing this time for Aruba. I think Isaiah Marcelia was trying to whip that toward the penalty spot approximately, but got nowhere near it as the wind cut it down. Rosario. Margarita. Brennan has come the closest of anybody to scoring tonight. Rosario, Brennan. Martina kept it moving along. Now Juninho Bacuna sent it straight to a player in yellow. And all the way back to room. Wearing the pink boots tonight. Leandro Bacuna. There goes Gore. Gore. That take a deflection? I think it did. It's going to be a corner for Curaçao. Their first of the second half, their 6th of the game. Gore's been taking most of the set pieces tonight. His in-swinger here over everyone's head. Rolls out by the corner flag. Curaçao will try to press and keep Aruba hemmed in. Daryl Bali found a teammate. Curaçao find the loose ball. Martina didn't start Wednesday, came off the bench the final 15 minutes or so. Now Juninho Bacuna, it ran past him. Chance to counter for Aruba. Not a lot of yellow shirts forward. Groothuizen waiting for support. Did well. Steven Melchor lost out, and Gore can gallop the other direction. That's disappointing from Aruba's standpoint. Here goes Rosario. Leandro Bacuna dropping deeper so far in the second half. Gari along for Brennan. Underlap from Margarita, able to beat a man. Margarita still. And there's the right-footed finish. It's in for Curaçao. La Familia Azul open the scoring in the 58th minute. It took them a while, but it's the blue hair for the men in blue, wearing white tonight. 1-0, Curaçao doing the dance on the road. Juninho Bacuna arriving next to the penalty spot to slam it home, but it was all about Gerald Margarita in the buildup. Beating multiple defenders and laying it on a platter for Bacuna, who timed his run perfectly. So Curaçao, who had wasted so many opportunities over the opening hour, and you were just wondering if Aruba, having hung around this long at 0-0, going to be able to spring a surprise. They're going to make a double change here, it appears. Jeremy Van Olmen is coming in. So let's see if that opens this game up further. Here's Jeremy Van Unen on for Terrence Groothuizen. So Aruba have to go for it a bit more now. They'll have a throw in their attacking third. This ball flicked on top of the area, headed along. Oh, the first touch wasn't very good, and then it's volleyed toward the far side. Awkward sequence, then the bicycle kick is interesting, but way off target. Well, the initial opportunity almost fell to Jonathan Richard, but his first touch just wasn't good enough to set himself for the shot. Aruba continue to look brighter. But they'll need to be more clinical when they work the ball into those attacking areas. Junino Bacuna, assisted by Gerald Margarita, has given Curaçao the advantage in this qualifier. Oh, long ball is a good one. Well, here's Floranis. Good first touch, but out comes Matthew Lentic. That was good from Sherelle Floranis. Curaçao in a good position now. Long ball forward. Not able to win that first ball was Richard. Benjamin Maria, who just came on a couple moments ago. Looks like Isaiah Marcelia has moved to the top. And he almost saw his teammate Jonathan Richard threaded through there. Kaimani Ned was the other player substituted off a moment ago. It was a triple change. Stephen Melchor has also been taken off. Jaden Kreudenhoff has come on. So Van Unen, Kreudenhoff, and Maria, the three who were subbed on a couple minutes ago for Aruba. 27 minutes left of the 90. As things stand, Curaçao will make it 6 points out of 6 in the first half of this Group C qualifying. Second round in Concacaf. The road to FIFA World Cup 2026. Motoring by the end line. This is kept in play, but then the pullback was way overhit. Well, Aruba have a lot more pace on the pitch now after that triple change. And you saw a glimpse of it there, but the subsequent ball wasn't accurate enough. And really just the one player in the box to aim for. Bali taking this throw. Juninho Bacuna scored the goal. Laying it down the far side. The ball stays in play on this turf, and Gore able to nip in and take it. And Gore is running along the end line and just had the foot from the defender get in his way as he tried to burst through on goal. Kenji Gore continues to look electric down that left side for Aruba, or for Curaçao tonight, giving Aruba continued issues. There he goes again. And put in front. And touched away, out for a throw by the corner flag. Touchback from Margarita to Brennan. And Curaçao manage a result on the road now, having taken the lead. Dick Advocat's side. These are the kind of games now that if you're a team that aspires to become one of those fringe elite sides in Concacaf, which Curaçao definitely do aspire to, and have shown glimpses perhaps of maybe becoming over the last decade. And these are the kind of games, these are the kind of results that you have to manage and see out away from home, which is never easy in Concacaf. It hasn't been easy for them tonight. Having finally opened the scoring through Juninho Bacuna in the 58th minute, now they will expect to slam the door. An Aruba player down by midfield. So a break in play while they attend to him. The other game in progress, Nicaragua leading Belize now 2-0. Nicaragua away from home in that one, but they appear to be heading for a second successive win in qualifying. Bansi Hernandez and Juan Barrera have each tallied for Nicaragua. Remember, the teams that finish first and second in each of these 6 CONCACAF qualifying groups over June of this year and June of next year will then advance to that final 12-team round of CONCACAF qualifying. September, October, November 2025. We're going to have a substitution here for Curaçao. I'm going to make a couple changes, actually. Ranjelo Yanga is removed, so he will not add to his record goal tally for Curaçao tonight. Jurgen Locadia has replaced him. And looks like Kevin Falaida will come on also for the goal scorer, Juninho Bacuna, who does not appear very happy to be coming off. He has done his bit tonight with that one-time finish. Handball given here against Aruba. Free kick Curaçao. Who would, of course, love to score that second goal to really make things comfortable. Aruba haven't created many moments of danger tonight, but have created a few. Have shown the ability. Here's Margarita now. Set up that opening goal and put a little too much on that for Gore this time. And is upset with himself. Goal kick for Aruba. There'll be more Concacaf qualifying tomorrow as Dominica will take on Jamaica. St. Vincent and the Grenadines home to El Salvador. Those both at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Then Barbados against Haiti. Grenada home to Costa Rica at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. That's a game in which Costa Rica will be massive favorites, of course, but Grenada almost shocked Trinidad and Tobago earlier this week and held them to a 2-2 draw in the end. And Grenada will be home for that one, so who knows? It'll be an interesting one. And at 7 p.m. Eastern, Bermuda home against Honduras. Honduras will be looking to make it 2 wins out of 2 as this ball over the top skids enough off the turf to take it to Matthew Lentic as we enter the final 20 minutes of the 90, and Curaçao leading thanks to Juninho Bacuna's 58th minute goal. Last game on the docket tomorrow, Montserrat home to Panama at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Leandro Bacuna, who is the last Bacuna standing for Curaçao tonight. And the referee's whistle stops play again. And another player is on the deck for Aruba. And that's Jeremy Van Unen, who just came on about 10 minutes ago. So that would be difficult for Aruba if they have to make another change for a guy who was already a substitute in the first place. Really limits what you're able to do, especially when you're chasing a goal and chasing a game. And they are going to have to make that change, so Van Unen, who was just on 12 minutes ago, has to be taken off for Rovian Ostiana. So that change officially announced. Ostiana on. Leandro Bacuna under no pressure for Curaçao. Jurian Gari. Brennett. Miscommunication, and Aruba with the throw. "17 shots for Curaçao tonight, only 2 on target. But the second one found the back of the net. It is a weird stat that Aruba still have the same number of shots on goal. A little bit of difficulty there for Cuco Martina. And with help from Eloy Room, he gets out of it. Pressure being applied by Benjamin Maria, but well done by Joshua Brennett, who was able to deal with that. And it's a throw for Curaçao, as they're managing this lead pretty well so far. Aruba still have completed fewer than 100 passes tonight, which is extremely low total for 73 minutes in. Shows how little they've had the ball. 73% possession for Curaçao. Margarita. Bacuna. Gore was stood up. He has a throw for Curaçao. That still works just fine from their standpoint. As the clock ticks past 74 minutes. Gari. Margarita. Margarita puts it across the face. Deflected toward that back post. Still not out of danger yet. And Gore with the shot that was against a defender. Gore again combining. And a big block. Still loose on the edge of the area. From the penalty spot. Brennett couldn't sort it out. Now it's Floranis. Margarita in front, deflected over the bar. It'll be a corner. And Aruba just hanging on and staying in this game by inches multiple times during that sequence. Corner taken short. Bacuna. Gore and Rosario. Curaçao maintaining control of the game. Leandro Bacuna again. Rosario. And Falida moving into a pocket of space. Falida knocked it back. Be careful about that in this wind. Fortunately for him, Aruba didn't have anybody forward. Here's Gore at speed. Gore bursting through. Gore still. Couldn't control the finish. Goal kick. Another electric run from Kenji Gore, who deserves a goal tonight. And for just a moment, he thought he was going to have one there. Aruba had a little burst after they conceded the goal in the 58th minute. They were able to apply some pressure to Curaçao over the next few, but have created very little over the last 15. In danger of seeing this game fizzle out, but they're still within just the single goal. The draw would be a really good result for them. They're ranked about 100 spots lower in the FIFA rankings at the start of the night. Aruba came into this ranked number 193 in the world. Curaçao ranked number 91. Talked early about Aruba trying to build off that very positive 2023 Nations League campaign where they won 4 consecutive games, all 4 of their games in League C, to be promoted back to League B for this coming campaign. This is Gore. Bacuna. Into the box. Pulled back for the run from Bacuna. Didn't quite reach him. Aruba, though, continue to be unable to get a hold of the ball. Falida. Margarita. Another chance to run at the defense. Margarita floating at back post. Down goes Matthew Lentic again. He's grabbed that right leg a couple times in this game. Might be dealing with a cramp again, we'll see. We talked about upcoming qualifying games tomorrow. Monday will be a day off in Concacaf qualifying. And then there will be more games on Tuesday. St. Lucia will be home to Aruba. That's where Aruba will travel to next. Cuba playing Cayman Islands, whose game was rained out earlier today. St. Kitts and Nevis home against the Bahamas. Guyana will face Belize. Dominican Republic home against the British Virgin Islands. And Puerto Rico will round out the night against Anguilla. Here tonight, it's been a great crowd in Aruba. They have packed this little stadium. We'll take another look at the goal. It came in the 58th minute, and it was from great work by Gerald Margarita, taking on defenders and then laying it off for Bacuna, who arrived in exactly the right spot and slammed it into that corner. So against a stubborn Aruban defense tonight, it needed that moment of quality to unlock them, and that's exactly what Gerald Margarita provided. And it wasn't a surprise. He's looked really good tonight. Came off the bench in the second half on Wednesday, earned a starting spot tonight, but still time for Aruba as they come into the box on the left foot. And now a right-footed strike cannons off a defender. Benjamin Maria let it go. Had too many white shirts in the way, and now a handball prevents a counterattack, and that will result in the first yellow card of the night. Not the worst yellow to take from Aruba, because Curaçao were racing away with numbers. And it is Maria, it appears, who goes into the book. It was Maria who indeed took that card. First time Cesar Ramos has produced one tonight. It's a change for Curaçao. Looks like Gore has left the pitch. Both teams have changed 4 players now. Here's Margarita. Margarita dispossessed by Daryl Bali. Aruba need to take some chances now. Into the sprinting path of Rovian Ostiana. Ostiana was cutting off the route back to the goalkeeper. Has to be careful he doesn't commit a foul here. Referee letting things play on, and Curaçao able to work their way out anyhow, and now play is stopped. Both teams are asking why play was stopped. See Cesar Ramos going to the scorer's table to clarify something, it seems. Dick Advocat takes the chance to consult with Sherelle Floranis. Referee pointing to something. I'm not sure what that would be, but so we await the restart here after a couple-minute delay. Looks like things are in order again, and off we go once more. So Curaçao continue to look pretty comfortable, but the lead is still just a single goal. Aruba do have a throw. Keep wondering if Aruba are going to commit more players to the attack. It's going to be another substitution here. There's Nickinson Paul coming on for Diedrich Leudens. That should be the final change for Aruba. That is 5 players that they've changed out now. Aruba able to get a hold of it now with Maria. Benjamin Maria working toward the middle. And wasn't able to do anything from there. Pressure still being applied by Kreudenhoff. See how quick Kreudenhoff is, but he wasn't able to get a hold of it either. Now Curaçao on the counter, and Margaritha. Margaritha looking to slide in. Brennett, sliding block, and what a block. Tremendous defensive action. I think that was Fernando Lewis who slid in to possibly save a goal. Second time tonight that Brennett's been through. 5 minutes to go plus stoppage time. And Margaritha attacks again. Looking for the return ball. Margaritha laying it off for Falida. Martina. Curaçao okay with knocking it around now. Sander Severina, the man who came on a moment ago. Here's Brennett laying it off and turning and striking on goal. Jürgen Locadia, but straight at Matthew Lentic. Well, for all of their attacking play tonight, that's only the 3rd shot on target that Curaçao have had. They have the only one that matters so far in the 58th minute from Junino Bacuna. Free kick Aruba, which they want to take quickly. Referee allows that to go. Straight down the middle. A little bit over-ambitious and easy for Eloy Room. Can't fault Aruba for trying it, though, at this stage. Question now becomes, how much time will we have added on at the end of the 90 minutes? A couple of injury pauses. Also had that strange delay for about 90 seconds or so. So you'd think there'd be at least 3 or 4 minutes at a minimum. Still time for Aruba to snatch something tonight. Curaçao have not put them away yet. Margaritha would like to do so now. Cuts to his left. Tries to thread one through. Not quite. Whatever the result tonight, it's been an extremely positive battling performance from Aruba. They still hope for more to show from it than that. Benjamin Maria can't track that down. Great to see this crowd in Aruba too, and the support that this program has as they try to build themselves from the ground up. Nights like this will be remembered, especially by all these kids that are here tonight. Whether Aruba can come back and score a goal or not, this has been an event that will stick in their minds. It's nights like this that help build a program, help build a team's identity. But Curaçao in position to take all 3 points and want a second goal as well. And struck on goal, and there's another save from Matthew Lentic. Ravian Rosario had a hit from outside the area. Hit it accurately, but Lentic was in the way. Rosario trying to bend it to the far post. A little more central than he probably would have preferred, but still a good strike. Able to do what Curaçao hadn't been able to do much tonight, which was test the keeper. Bacuna. Curaçao able to keep possession, crucially. We'll continue to work that clock down into the 90th minute now. Just a few seconds, the attention will shift to the fourth official. Here comes the cross from that far side, bouncing all the way through, and this will be a corner for Curaçao. More precious seconds will melt away. Interesting to see them still take quick corners in this kind of situation. I don't know if Dick Advocat will like that. It's generally how Curaçao want to play, keeping it in play, keeping the tempo high, but when you're nursing a 1-0 lead away from home in a qualifier in the 90th minute, might be the time to just slow things down a bit, maybe, but in any case, Curaçao able to keep possession and work it around some more. Falls to Rosario again. The edge of the area, Severina. We'll have 5 additional minutes. 5, so still time for Aruba, but they have to defend right now. Margarita in front. Who did that come off last? It is out for a goal kick. That was Locadia, who was making the run toward the 6-yard box. It came off the back of his heel instead of the front of his foot. Well, Aruba have 4.5 minutes left to try to grab something from this game. Could they create one chance, one moment of danger? Created a few tonight. We've had very little of the ball, especially over the last 30 minutes or so. Curaçao have continued to have literally 3/4 of the possession through 90+ minutes tonight. Almost fell to Aruba in the center circle, but again, Curaçao first to the ball. Not the best subsequent ball, though. See the wind continuing to blow as it has all night. It's got to go forward for Aruba. 3.5 minutes left. Here come Curaçao down the left, trying to square it in front with Severina. Comes instead to Rosario. Leandro Bacuna. Top of the box, flicked on. Brennett. Brennett still lays it off, and it's sliced wide. And still the second goal won't go in for Curaçao tonight. They might not need it in the end, but they have made life more difficult for themselves than they otherwise might have. They are just 2.5 minutes away from taking themselves to 6 points through half of this qualifying round. Long from Lentic. Hasn't been able to kick it as long in this second half since he's been going against the wind. And still Aruba not able to get a hold of the ball. This will be an Aruba throw. Might be the last chance for them to pile forward. This capacity crowd urging them to make something of this. It'll be a long throw attempted. See Sandro Stahl signaling the crowd to make noise as he launches this into the penalty area. Header, though, was won cleanly by Curaçao. Foot race for the ball, and Margarita's onto it. And Margarita's on the charge. Euro Margaritha has the game-winning assist as things stand. And that's a bad challenge. Free kick Curaçao. That might just about do it tonight. And it is a yellow card. Only the second card that Cesar Ramos has shown tonight. They have no complaints, Fernando Lewis. He went through the back of the Curaçao player. Final minute of the 95. Curaçao, understandably, not in a hurry to take this. Now the free kick struck into the wall. The time almost up for Aruba. Curaçao will try to nurse out the remaining seconds. Folida. Brennett. Chested down. Chance for the second goal. And it's scored by Curaçao to put things away. With the last kick of the game, it's a blue Curaçao night in Aruba. They're going to take all 6 points from their first 2 qualifiers here in 2024. It was absolutely leathered into the back of the net. And the finishing touch that Curaçao struggled to find for much of the night. They found it in the 58th from Juninho Bacuna, who embraces the second goal scorer of the night, Xander Severina. Off the bench, onto the score sheet. And it'll be a happy 50-mile journey home for the visitors from Curaçao. Curaçao player being told to get back on the correct half of the pitch before they can kick things off again. And there is the final whistle from Cesar Ramos. And a great battle from Aruba, who get a rousing ovation from this sellout crowd tonight. But Curaçao, right at the last, able to make it a 2-goal game and a 2-goal margin of victory. It's 6 points out of 6 for Curaçao in qualifying so far. They've put themselves in a great position to advance out of Group C and go to the final qualifying round next year. They'll have to wait, of course, until next June to complete this qualifying round, but it couldn't have gone better for Dick Advocat and his side in 2 games this week. 4-1 winners over Barbados at home on Wednesday, 2-0 victors over Aruba here tonight. In just a moment, we will see highlights from these 90 minutes. Again, Aruba fought very well this evening. They hung around, and it stayed 0-0 for 58 minutes. And Aruba were able to create some moments. Dick Advocat, 76 years old now, coming out of retirement once again. He's tried to retire multiple times from management. He just can't stay away. He loves it so much. He could be doing anything he wants at this point. All he wants is to wear a tracksuit on the touchline and coach football, and who can blame him? It'll be a happy night and a happy trip home for he and his side this evening. And for Aruba, again, lots of positives to build on after a very positive 2023. And this crowd, such a positive thing to see as well. Those traveling fans from Curaçao watching their nation continue to rise in Concacaf. Last couple of years hadn't quite gone the way they wanted it to, but they feel under Dick Advocat things are heading back in the positive direction. And they'll have the Nations League campaign to look forward to again in September as well, before they turn their attention to qualifiers again next June. Let's see the highlights from the 90 minutes this evening here in Oranjestad. And it was Curaçao, again, who did most of the attacking. For a lot of the night, their finishing was off target. This one from Juninho Bacuna, for example, dragged wide of the near post. Curaçao's build-up play was excellent. Gerald, Margaritha, and Brennett, they were all very good attacking down those flanks. There's a lot of danger created by Gore as well. This one scooped over the top from Leandro Bacuna into the path of Brennett, who was saved by Matthew Lentic. Watch Lentic come racing out here and make himself big, and then the rebound clattered off of Brennett and wide. And Leandro Bacuna drifting out to the left side on this occasion, able to swing in another cross for a wide open Ranjelo Yanga. Curaçao's all-time leading scorer couldn't guide his header on target in a spot where he had a lot of time. Maybe the ball just a little bit behind him. Then Gore almost curled one in all by himself here with a sizzling effort that just missed that right-hand upper 90. Gore cutting it back at an angle before wrapping his foot around it. This was the biggest moment of danger in this game for the home side. Aruba had it fall on the penalty spot, and just unable to beat the goalkeeper was Jonathan Richard. Good save by Eloy Room. Didn't have a ton to do tonight, but did it well. Then the opening goal arrived on 58 minutes, and Gerald Margaritha set it up before sliding it to Juninho Bacuna, who slammed it in. Margaritha and Bacuna combining brilliantly. Watch this work by Margaritha, beating one defender, skipping past a second, and then sliding it simply for Bacuna, who was able to make perfect contact with it. No chance for Matthew Lentic. 1-0 in the 58th minute. It's worth yet another look, as Margaritha, so good tonight, created so much down that right side. And Margaritha almost set up a second goal here for Brennett. It was a brilliant sliding block by the captain, Fernando Lewis, to keep it at 1-0 for the moment. Looked like it would stay 1-0, and that would be the final score line. Curaçao kept on attacking, though. Kept on sniffing for that second goal. They almost had it here through Ravian Rosario, who sent one on target, forcing Matthew Lentic into a double-fisted save. Hit well by Rosario, and Lentic able to paw it away.
Number three,
but then the goal would arrive in the 95th minute. The chest down and the absolute laser beam by Xander Severina with about the final kick of the game. It came on 95 minutes, and Severina able to score that second goal for Curaçao and ensure a happy trip home for them. So congratulations to Curaçao for 2 wins out of 2. Congratulations on a great night of support for Aruba and their fans here at home tonight. We look forward to seeing you for more qualifying the rest of the week. Until next time, for our great crew, this is Donnie Barnes saying good night from Aruba this evening, where it finishes Curaçao 2, Aruba 0.